Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I'm so honored and delighted to be here this morning. Particularly, I didn't realize that I'm competing with Sarah Palin. And I would like to give a big applause to all the daring people who organized this, all the names and all the organizations who are behind it. Thank you. And this is very important for me because this is the first event on the book launching, the book that is coming up. And I'm not sure how, what kind of response I'll get from the book. But each time I had a book, I get a tremendous amount of response from people, very warm response, which led me to do the next one. And that's, again, the last one that I had, the Creating a World Without Poverty, Social Business and Future of Capitalism, that created so much of a response from all around the world, particularly from the young people. And they had so many questions asked as they write to me. And I've been answering these questions in many forums, in many interviews, and in many speeches. And people keep saying that, but you are doing it in a piecemeal manner. Why don't you put them all together? So then that idea came that why don't I put them together? So this is what I have done, is to put them together. I'm sure it will raise many more questions, and it will be fun to answer those questions too. Many of you are familiar and almost personally involved in microfinance, so I don't have to talk about microfinance, but that is not my intention. But while we did the microfinance, many do not realize how many other things we did side by side. And that's a missing part of our work, and which I tried to bring out in my last book. One thing I did right from the beginning of microfinance that we did in the village of Bangladesh, we created something assembling all the ideas of the borrowers and their struggles, encapsulated in something called 16 decisions. They make their own decisions about their life. And one of those decisions are, one of those is we shall send our children to school. And make sure they continue in school. And we took each one of those decisions to follow up to see how to achieve those goals that they have set for themselves. So these are 16 goals actually for their life. And out of them, we created companies. So I look back and I see, whenever I see a problem, I try to address the problem by creating a company. So in the process, we created many, many such companies. Some became formal companies, some remain halfway done companies, never developed into a formal company. One of such things was, at the beginning, I was facing the problem of night blindness among the children of Grameen borrowers in extreme poverty. You see a lot of things, but I had no idea this thing is a common phenomenon in the villages of Bangladesh. Children cannot see after sunset. When the night comes, they become blind. And I couldn't believe that such a thing happened, such a thing can happen to these young kids. So I started talking about it to the doctors and so on, and I got the advice that this is curable. This is because of the vitamin A deficiency. So if you can arrange vitamin A, this will cure itself. So they gave us lots of options how to bring vitamin A. One very popular option everybody was recommending is to bring vitamin A tablets. So give these tablets to the children, and gradually they will overcome this problem. And the other one, which they didn't emphasize much, if they can eat vegetables, because vegetables carries the natural vitamin A. After a lot of discussion inside with my colleagues, I decided to do it the other way, with vegetables. And then we started selling seeds, because I thought if people have seeds easily available and good quality seeds, which are not normally is not available, people will gradually love it and will encourage them to grow vegetables. And that became a part of the 16 decisions. One of the decisions says we shall grow vegetable all year round and eat plenty of it and sell the surplus, because people always kind of connected something growing to sell. we kind of reversed that kind of idea that we eat plenty of it, meaning that our children will be eating plenty of it, and sell the surplus unless we can finish all because we have plenty of it, then we sell. It became a very popular program. Everybody wanted to buy the seeds because we put them in 1 penny packet. No matter how expensive the seed is, each packet is 1 penny. And in the beginning, they were not sure what they were supposed to do. So we explained a little bit. And Bangladesh soil is very fertile soil. All you do is just sprinkle the seeds. The seeds kind of jump back, grow, beautiful vegetables. And when you see this fresh vegetable, you feel like eating. Normally, people don't eat vegetables. That's very strange. You can grow it. It's very easy. But people stick to rice. Rice is their main thing, and everybody wants to have lots of rice. Even if it is with salt, they will eat the rice, which creates a lot of other problems. So this is the first time they get familiar with vegetables. In the process, night blindness over time disappeared from Bangladesh. So this was, again, we did it in a very commercial way. We didn't want to lose money on that project, that we want to cover all the cost of operations and making those seeds, packets, and so on. Everything has to be covered. So this is my first kind of reaction to a problem that I saw. And then we started encouraging the children to go to school as a part of 16 decisions. And we achieved that goal, having all the children in school. And then we see gradually, year after year, they're coming to the higher education. When they came to the higher education level, they were very qualified, able to do that, but the financing was not available because parents cannot support up to that level. So we immediately introduced education loan. Again, my reaction to address this issue in a commercial way, but commercial in a quote-unquote commercial way, because that's the whole issue that I'm raising here. Because the moment we say commercial, it looks like somebody's making money out of it. That's not what we did. In a business way, we did that. And as a result, now thousands and thousands of students are in higher education in medical schools, engineering schools, universities, and many have done their PhDs. Many are working in universities and practicing medicines in all over Bangladesh. And each year, batches and batches coming out as a highly educated people, while their parents are still illiterate the way they were. They will never had this opportunity. So each time I see a problem, I create this kind of thing, and I became fascinated with the information technology. In the 80s, this was something coming up, and I thought, my God, this is the way. This is the way to get the people out of poverty, because if people have the control over the technology, they will change their life, because they have the creativity, they have the energy, simply connecting them with the rest of the world. So what I did, I got the opportunity. I applied for a license to create a mobile phone company and explained to the government agency that we'll create this telephone company to bring telephone in the villages, because in the villages, telephone didn't exist. At that time, there was hardly 500,000 telephone in the whole world. So we thought this would be a good opportunity to bring that telephone and bring it to the villages. And we insisted that we'll give loans to the women in Grameen Bank. The Grameen Bank is all women. We'll give loans to the women to buy cell phones and sell the service of the cell phones. So government agency got very irritated by that. How can you do that? How can you give cell phone to the illiterate woman? What is she going to do with that? Who is she going to call? And so it created a lot of tension. I tried to explain to them. They wouldn't listen to that. But after all those debates and so on, finally we got the license. And we created a company called Grameen Phone and started doing exactly what we wanted to do, bring the telephone services in the villages and give the phone in the hands of the poor women to sell the service. The question the agency was raising that even if she wants to sell, who's going to buy? I said, anybody will need to make a phone call, will have to come to her because she's the only one in the village who has a phone. So there's no other way. They didn't believe that a woman can do that. She has not seen a telephone in her life, etc., etc. I said, I'll take a chance. It became a roaring business. And the telephone ladies, we call them telephone ladies, they became very successful in selling the service, and it became an instant source of money and very quick way to get out of poverty. In the process, telephones started coming to the village because at that time, globally, people never thought that telephones will be needed in the villages. So always thought about it, something commercial, something business world will be using it, business executives will be using it. So I kind of reversed the whole idea. I said, no, it's the poorest women will be using this and make money out of that. So I had several ideas that one, if you can make money out of this and you control a new technology, for the first time, you are having introduced to an absolutely state-of-the-art technology of the world, which is just emerging. And it will change her life. It will change the life of the village. Today, after now, this is 2000, we launched the program in 1997. This is hardly 13 years now. We have over 55 million subscribers of telephones in the whole country. With the population of 150 million, you can imagine every third person has a telephone. You go anywhere, whether it's a kid, whether it's a woman, whether it's a man, whether it's a rickshaw puller, whether it's a boatman, everybody has a phone. So and our telephone coverage in Bangladesh, I can tell you very frankly, is better than the United States. Because everything is covered. There's no single spot where you say you don't have telephone coverage. And this telephone now also carries the internet connectivity and so on. So we created company after company like that, and in the process, Grameenphone became the largest company in the country. It's not just largest telephone company, it's the largest company in the country. So we created the energy company, Grameen Shakti or Grameen Energy, to bring solar energy in the country. And today we have 350,000 solar home system working in Bangladesh. Each month we are adding another 16 to 17,000 solar home system. So it's expanding very well. Again, very business-like way. We don't depend on any subsidy or anything. Usually renewable energy is connected with subsidies and all the government efforts to do that. We have nothing. We just go on, and people like it because they have electricity out of this. And we introduced the biogas plants. Now it's working. And we are trying to improve that. The plant is made of brick and mortar. So recently we are switching to fiberglass. It works much better because instantly you can do that and start the plant right away. And then we have introduced the improved stove, cooking stove, which consumes less of fuel and so on. I think within next year or by 2013, definitely we'll have more than 1 million cooking stove in Bangladesh functioning. So again, they are responding very well, and it's also based on business-like way. It's covering cost. So in the process, I created just about 40 companies. And people ask me, why do you must be a very rich man. You have all these big companies running for you. It's made a lot of money. So they say, oh, you are stacking up all this money. I said, no, I don't have any money. I'm just the same way I was. How come you don't have money? I said, I don't own any of these companies. So that became a big issue. Why do you create company if you don't own it? And then I started asking myself, why did I do that if I don't own it? Because I was so focused on solving the problem, I didn't think about owning or something. So I said, maybe this is one piece which is missing in the whole structure of economy. Because then I started looking at what the theoretical structure of economics is in a capitalist system. In that capitalist system, you have only one kind of business. The moment you say business, you mean you're making money. Otherwise, it has no meaning if you're not making money. So that's why when I use the word commercial, I try to quickly put quote unquote, I said this is commercial, meaning something else. So I said, maybe this is what is happening. Then I said, okay. Then I look at it. The whole system is based on the principle that you should be making money, and not only making money, you should be maximizing profit. Then I said, that's a very wrong way to interpret human being. Human beings are not robots. My first response is they are not robots. At least they are not single-dimensional people. People are multidimensional. So the economists take one dimension out of human being and consider that and make us believe that that's what the human being is all about.